Hello world. This is CMJ World Vlogs. I am August C. Jones, and I'm riding next to a big head annoying anyway. So I wanted to get on this and I wanted to talk about this. So it's been on my mind. I just haven't gotten in front of the camera in order to speak my mind about this. But so this we'll be talking about the whole James Gunn situation. I'm not going to get into specifics. I'm going to get into I'm not going to get into specifics about everything. It's going to be about certain things, and then on top of that, I'm just going to give it my perspective. So for the longest, I want to say, I ain't even going to say the majority of the year. I want to say for a good portion of the last maybe 5 months or whatnot, that people have been either mixed or to really negative on James Gunn and everything that he's been doing with the DCU, or lack of everything he's been doing with the DCU yet. And so when it first came out, I don't know if I said it in a video prior or whatever. I may have. I don't remember. But in any case, so I was excited. James Gunn did amazing job with with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He did an amazing job with the Suicide Squad, far superior than the first Suicide Squad movie. And I love just basically what he's been doing with the superhero genre. And so I was excited. I was happy that they chose him and to craft this new universe, because that's what DC was missing before. They had a person with a vision and a narrative path of where he wanted to go, but that was only for a particular set of films. It wasn't for the overall thing. And I'm not about to put that on Zack Snyder and what he was doing. He did what he wanted to do with what he was given, but he wasn't given the keys like James Gunn was, to where he can craft the whole universe. And I felt like if anyone at that time, they probably should have picked him. But everything went how it went, and we got what we got. And so I've been watching a lot of videos lately of people just downing James Gunn, talking about James Gunn is selfish. James Gunn is just, it's the Gunn universe, that he's not thinking about the characters, he's disrespecting the characters, that he doesn't care, he's not going to take it serious, and the DCU is going to fail. And they just literally spinning all of this to where it's like I'm disagreeing with them on a lot of stuff. So just to rewind back to the beginning of this year, when we first got the first kind of information of what he has planned for the DCU after Aquaman 2 drops. And a lot of the projects I wasn't familiar with, and then a lot of projects that was really interesting of him picking that. Even though I wasn't as enthusiastic about it, I'm still kind of let me see what he got. Let me see how these projects turn out, and then I'll make my judgment. I'll assess it and just say whether or not I feel like this is the best route to go. And I feel just really thinking about it, I believe I said before that I feel like he should have done a full-on reboot rather than a soft reboot, where he's just carrying certain characters that play certain carrying certain actors that play certain characters over. But he's gonna do what he's gonna do. And the reason, but I'm still on board. I want to see what he has. But the reason why I say that I am against a lot of people that constantly saying oh, the DC gonna fail and James Gunn is doing such a horrible job and blah blah blah, it's he hasn't done anything yet. They're judging him off of little decisions that he's made with films that were from the old regime, from him taking out a cameo from The Flash with Superman up in there, with Henry Cavill Superman, and making little certain things. It's people have to realize that the DCEU has not been good for a while. It just hasn't. I've been enjoying some of the films, but I can even realize that it hasn't been great. when you look at from the beginning all the way to now, it's been a lot of hit and misses. There's been a lot of them that's been kind of like steady, but as of late, they really haven't like knocked it out the park with them. You know, they did good with the Suicide Squad. I enjoyed that very much, especially compared to the first film. But when you get to like Black Adam, that movie was okay. It had a lot of problems. Shazam 2, I enjoyed that, but it didn't make that money. The Flash, thought it was gonna be $1 billion. It flopped hard. Like it flopped hard. Blue Beetle flopped. Great film, but flopped. And the thing is, I haven't really spoke about this, but I want to say one of the reasons is the fact that the DCEU is coming to an end, and on top of the fact that a lot of people haven't really been satisfied. That's why these movies have not gone over 400 million. Like, people like to chew on James Gunn and be like, oh, James Gunn doing such a horrible job, but what were they doing a good job with before? Like, it's so crazy when people try and down James Gunn and he hasn't done anything major yet. We haven't seen Superman Legacy yet. We haven't seen Creature Commando. We haven't seen any other project from his version of the DCU. We have not seen anything. So to say that this guy, he's going to fail, that the DCU is going to suck and blah, 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 it's like you haven't seen anything from him. You don't know what he can do or what he will do. Talking about he's disrespected, he doesn't care about the characters. How? Like, how can you make that assessment and you haven't seen the characters that he's brought on screen? When Superman Legacy come out, after seeing that, then you can make that that statement, whether you like them or not. When Creature Commando come out, same thing with Waller, with Peacemaker Season 2, with whatever. But we haven't seen anything in the new DCU, this universe that he's crafting. And I love how I heard how somebody said that, like, oh, he needs to listen to the fans, see what the fans want. It's just all about it's the James Gunn show. I have two lines of thoughts with that. For one, the fans, we don't know what the hell we want. We don't. Like, and I take it back, and this is always going to be my example. Let's bring it back to Zack Snyder. How everybody was on board, like, restore the Snyderverse, and all this stuff. Let's rewind it all the way back to Man of Steel. That movie, a lot of people did not like it. Even to this day, a lot of people don't like it. Talking about, you know, oh, that's not Superman, and all that stuff. And then BVS comes out. Nobody was really like messing with that one. And then after we saw BVS, it was a lot of people calling for him to be taken off of Justice League, even though that had already went into production. It was already like recording and stuff for it. They're like, oh, get Zack Snyder off of Justice League, and all this stuff. His daughter dies. He gets taken off the project. We get Joss Whedon. And then when we see how it turned out in theaters, then everybody want to start calling. No, not even just right off the bat. But we heard from Kevin Smith about Zack Snyder's plan and what he was planning to do if he had, you know, if he kept going, if he wasn't off the project, if his daughter didn't have her untimely death and he was like continuing on with his plan. We found out like how Justice League was really going to end with his version, and then the other two like Justice League movies that he had planned, the story, everything else. After that, everybody was all on him like, oh, bring back Zack Snyder, let's see the Snyderverse, let's see the Snyder cut, and then when they finally gave us the Snyder cut, they gave this man money to produce the film that he wanted to produce in the beginning, and not only gave us a regular length theatrical, or, you know, a regular length film, but they gave this man 4 hours to tell his story. 4 hours to tell his story. And then after that, that's when everybody's like, oh, restore the Snyderverse, and all this stuff. And it's like, what? In the beginning, y'all wanted this guy, y'all didn't want this guy nowhere near DC, and then now y'all calling for him to come back on? Like, and that just proves my point. We don't know what we want until we see it. A lot of times we have to be shown that, like, okay, we don't know if this is gonna work, and then if it works, oh, we love this, and all this. It's like we don't know what we want. So to try and ask the audience, oh, what do y'all want to see, and then go off of that, No, you don't do that. Your first train of thought should be going in and making the best film that you could possibly make, telling the best story that you could possibly tell, getting the best actors fitted for those characters, and just make the best project that you possibly can. That should be your first form, not looking at the audience, oh, what do you guys want? Because we can tell, you can go to 10 of us and ask like, oh, what we want, and we can tell you 10 different things and all this stuff. Some things may work, some things may not, but it's all about you. And which brings me to the other thing. Got people always here talking about like, oh, this the James Gunn show and da-da-da and all this stuff. It's like, yeah. Like, why wouldn't it be? They, WB hired, or Warner Brothers Discovery hired this man, him and Peter Safran, but most likely him in the creative aspects, to run a universe similar to Kevin Feige, where they can take all of these projects and literally create a path to a cinematic universe that is highly successful. They paid this man to use his brain to craft, to bring characters, to bring stories, to do this and do that. They hired this man to do that. So what he's going to do, he's going to bring characters, he's going to bring stories that he feels are the best fit for what he has in mind. And the thing is, what people don't really think about is the fact that if you were given the keys, just think about it. If you were given the keys to craft a universe for DC, Marvel, or anything, what are you going to do? You are going to take the characters that you want to put into this universe and tell the story that you want to tell. You're not going to be on Twitter or X be like, what do you guys want to see? Okay, yeah, we're going to use that person. So what else you guys want to see? And then it's like, no, you're going to use the characters and tell the stories that you want to tell. And that's not selfish. That's a creative mind. That's anybody. That's like, that would be saying like, you know, James Cameron is selfish. It's all about the James Cameron show when it comes to Avatar. It's his characters. And I get, like, it is a difference because he's taking, James Gunn is taking characters from a pre-existent, like, world of, like, comic books or whatever. And James Cameron is taking characters that he's created out of his own mind. But in the same sense, it's still the same. What do you think Kevin Feige is doing? Kevin Feige is bringing characters to the big screen and crafting a universe and putting those characters together of characters that he feels that are going to tell great stories, that are going to be great together and everything else. And I'm not talking about the quality of how it is now. Like, we just throw that out. But just the general fact that he is taking characters and telling and like putting stories in there that he feels would be great for it. Now, it might be certain like stories and characters that wasn't from him. There might be an exception here and there, but essentially he's responsible for taking characters and bringing them to light. He's not, of course, like, he's not writing or directing, but it's him. He's the one who's making the decisions. I want this character. I want that done. Da, 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 da. So are you going to call him selfish? And the same thing with Zack Snyder. The people that's praising him is like, oh yeah, we're going to bring back Zack Snyder. Da, da, da. It's like, he's doing what he wanted to do. He brought to the screen a new version of Superman that a lot of people didn't like. Let's not forget that. A lot of people did not like his version of Superman or how he told the story. But yet they want this man back. And a man who essentially, I guess you could say, in y'all logic, is selfish, because not only did he bring these characters in a story that he crafted him, well, he didn't craft it, but in that type of light, but he is the person that literally is crafting a story for characters, or, you know, crafting his own story. He didn't think about Wonder Woman outside the Justice League movie. He didn't think about Aquaman outside the Justice League movie. It's narrative stories for what he wanted. It's like, y'all do what y'all do, but this is just me. I'm doing Justice League Part 2, Justice League Part 3. To me, that sounds selfish. Like, if y'all really want to get into that boat, pull every single person that fits in that little line of that frame of mind that y'all are putting James Gunn in. James Gunn is doing what he's paid to do. If I was given the keys to DC and crafting the whole universe, I'm going to pick characters and I'm going to tell stories that I want to tell. I might pull from the comic books, of course, but I'm going to go a route that I want to go. I don't care about what y'all think. You know, if anything, I do want to have some fan service, but I would literally bring stories that I would want to tell, that I would think would be good in a cinematic version, or what would fit in the narrative of the story that I'm trying to tell. And it's like, that would be with anybody. You would be a fool if you would sit there and be like, oh, I want to get the fans' perspective. Like, no, why would you want to do that? Like, we don't know what we want. Like, just give us something. Like, John Campea says something, and it reigns true. Winning cures everything. People can talk about how the Superman legacy is gonna fail, or is dead on arrival, or you can talk down about it. But given you may not be 100% with it like I am, but once that movie come out, let's say that movie ends up knocking it out the park. It's like fantastic. It's phenomenal. The acting, the story, the characters, everything just all lines up. And he gets Superman. He understood what Superman is, how he's supposed to be, and everything else. The villain was great, all that stuff. Let's say he just knock it out the park like that. Then what is everybody gonna say? You can't be like, oh, I knew it all the time. I knew that he was gonna, like, no, you didn't, because you doubted him. It's like, we don't know what he is capable of. We haven't seen the script. We haven't read it. We don't know. The first project for his DCU has not came out yet. So how can we sit there and be like, oh, it's dead on arrival. Oh, he's going to disrespect these characters. And a lot of people are just bringing reference to the DCEU and all the characters, the Wonder Woman, Flash, and all this stuff, talking about he's going to disrespect the characters. He hasn't, and I watched a video actually really recently about a guy, I'm not even going to call out the channel, but a guy who was talking about how he didn't like how the Justice League was used at the end of Peacemaker, and how he disrespected them, and It's like, DC has been disrespecting the Justice League for a while now. They haven't really been making great films. Like, were you showing up for like giving love to Man of Steel? Were you giving love to Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984? Were you giving love to The Flash when it came out? Like, all these projects that y'all hold up and near and dear and all that stuff, were you giving 5 stars or 4 stars to every single one of the DC projects? Like, be honest. Was DCEU in a good place to where they didn't need to do anything more? Because the box office for the DC films this year and last year, besides, and I'm not talking about the Elseworlds, I'm not talking about Joker and the Batman, because those did great. I'm talking about the DCEU projects. Like, were those doing great numbers? Were those doing blockbuster like numbers to where we could be like, oh yeah, the DCEU is in a great place? No. That's why they put James Gunn and Peter Safran on a job to craft a universe that can work, to essentially start from scratch, to do something that will bring the company money. Because as of right now, the DCEU, as it's dying, is not bringing in money. Even though Aquaman 1 did over $1 billion worldwide at the box office, I don't think Aquaman 2 is going to do that. I think Aquaman 2 is going to, essentially, it's going to make money. I don't even know if it's going to break even. I think at this point, it'll be lucky if it breaks even. But I feel like people need to kind of like get off of James Gunn. They need to stop looking at James Gunn as like, oh, he's gonna destroy DC and everything else. It's like, no, he's not. Y'all haven't even seen what he was doing yet. Like, what are you critiquing about him? What has he done? You may not be down with his ideas, but just wait to see what he has. Like, why is it so hard for people to look at what people are doing? Just because he's not doing what you think he should be doing, or what, you know, he could be doing, or I don't know. what it is. But just wait till he come out with his projects. And I'm not talking about like, oh, Creature Commando it sucks, so yeah, he's gonna destroy these. Like, no. See, I would say go into 3 projects, or at least after Superman Legacy, and then come with a retrospective and be like, where do you think it's going? Like, is it going great, or, you know, is it sucking? Like, because right now we don't have no real like idea of what he has in store. I mean, we have it like as far as knowledge, but we don't know how good or how bad it's going to be. And I just hate that people are constantly doubting James Gunn, jumping down, talking about this and that. Y'all love this dude when he pumping out the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Y'all loved him when he got fired by Disney. Like, oh, reinstate him. But now that he is showing his plan and doing little things here and there, now y'all hate him? Like, if I was him, I wouldn't share anything. I'd be like, okay, these are movies that's coming out next year. Y'all gonna have to wait till next year to find out what other movies is going to be on the docket. Like, I wouldn't even tell the people my plan, because it's like now people are like literally just tearing him apart for no apparent reason. And I'm just praying, I'm hoping that Superman Legacy and every single project is fantastic, just so that I can see the people on the internet, just see what they say. I pray for his success rather than his downfall, because I don't know. I can't sit here and be like, oh, he's gonna do horrible, and I don't even know how he's gonna handle this. It may end up being bad. Superman Legacy, he may not get Superman. He may end up doing it, and it just ends up being horrible. He may end up doing Peacemaker Season 2. It may not be as good as Peacemaker Season 1. The Batman Brave and the Bold may end up flopping. I mean, we don't know. So I just want to tell everybody to just wait and see what he has in store. Just wait till you see an actual project, something that he wrote, something that he constructed a part of the DCU, because as of right now we don't know. So it's just like, I hate to see people just constantly make a video after video. Oh, this is why James Gunn is gonna fail. And it's like, but you don't know that. You just don't. Like, it's just weird how people are just turning their backs on him, and it's just, okay, cool. Like, I mean, I don't see them doing the same thing for Kevin Feige. Like, talking about, oh, Kevin Feige is destroying the MCU. I mean, I'm pretty sure some people out there that are saying that, but I mean, come on, like, people have bad days in the office. But as of right now, James Gunn hasn't even gotten the office yet. I mean, technically he is in the office because he's still, you know, whatever, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he hasn't even like stepped in the director's chair. He hasn't done really anything tangible that we can turn on right now at this moment and see. So I'll say just like wait until we find out, or till we see what like he has in store. You may not be down with every single little detail that he has. I'm still kind of like not doubtful, but kind of like, you know, I don't know, I guess you could say curious, because of like the people that he's introducing into Superman Legacy, the characters. And it's just like, this seemed like a lot for, you know, a Superman movie, but I mean, I'm still not about to down it. I'm still about to be like, hey, maybe he has a good story. We don't know, because I might have some what's the word? I'm not even about to ask you because you don't know. Trepidation. There we go. I might have some trepidation about, you know, what the characters and everything else that he's bringing out in Superman Legacy, but then I might end up seeing it and it may work out perfectly. So I'm not about to like just like pray for his downfall because I don't agree with it. It's stupid. I don't know. The internet can be stupid, it's a stupid place or whatnot, but I don't know. I think that's really all I have to say. I just hate when people just be on that stuff. It's just really retarded. But in any case, that has been this video, and if you made it this far, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe if you're not, hit that notification bell for more videos like this. My son is stupid, and I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace. So peace out, stay safe, and don't doubt somebody because you don't know all the facts. I don't know how to end this video.
Such a great meme.
Great meme, whatever. Anyway,
So much from that.
shut up. Peace out.